Well, back again. RugCast. Episode, wow, we're up to 27 now? I'm sorry. We're on number 6.
Number 6
They only do, like, they renew us for one show at a time, and like I got to get a new agent because I lose sleep at night. Like, are they going to renew us?
I'd like a 20 show commitment.
I feel like Seinfeld. Like, they didn't renew Seinfeld right away. And they had to talk the network into renewing them. But anyway, thanks for having us back here. We're at ABC Carpet and Home with none other than Aaron Ward. Already we're getting tons of fan mail for Aaron. That guy was like a big hit. We're having him back because the audience loved him. They loved Aaron Ward.
Glad to be back.
So we look at ABC Carpet and Home. It's really a brick and mortar retail business, right?
That is correct.
So like anybody can come in off the street, and
We do allow a lot of people in the door. Yes.
which is great. By the way, they also have a Michelin rated restaurant.
That is correct. ABCV.
This is the only rug store in the country, in the world, that has a Michelin rated restaurant in the heart of the store, right? No one else can say that.
Well, they have a lot. I mean, they have the furniture, right? The jewelry,
Yep.
the knickknacks.
Yeah,
They do.
They offer a lot.
we do. People can spend a good time here and not see everything. No.
You could probably get your driveway paved. That's
coming.
what they've
It's
got,
coming.
right?
It's coming.
And then we'll end up sealing it.
Well, they got a guy from Jersey.
Maintaining it.
They got a guy from Jersey now. We can do it. But you worked at a company that was a designer showroom, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Catered to interior designer and did not permit retail.
Right.
This is a retail store that works very heavily with the interior design trade.
We walk both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about how the complexities of that and how you guys handle those situations.
Yeah. No, it's a great question. We definitely
And gals, I don't want to be gender specific.
Yeah. No, I think, because of the level of product that we carry, a good portion of our audience either has used, are currently using, or will use trade professionals.
Right.
Whether it's finding or sourcing a token piece, doing one whole room, or doing the entire apartment/home.
Because you can do that.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
Absolutely. So we have teams dedicated to those that are quote unquote working with the end user, and then a specialized team that is just catered to working with the trade.
Oh.
This way I always call it next level service, really to take on those projects, send them what information they're looking for, work hand in hand with them, whether it's a piece off the floor or a bespoke piece that we're going to custom make for them. So
there's, in some cases, truly a handoff to
Correct.
those that are geared towards that business.
Absolutely.
Your team that's geared towards that business.
absolutely, and to nurture and grow it, more importantly.
You're looking at your business model in the future, growing your relationships with interior designers, right?
Correct, and even on hospitality and commercial level.
What are some of the things that you find the interior designer, their needs as it relates to what it is that you do here versus, say, a retail customer?
No, definitely their needs are higher. They expect a lot more, a lot faster.
Time is money.
Time is money.
Right.
So it's being able to be small enough but large enough to accommodate, what the ask is.
Right.
Whether it's, the deadline for delivery.
How about the window for delivery?
The time frame for delivery. No, they do ask for more, and we have, like I said, the flexibility to offer that. And again, it's not about the one sale; it's about the next sale.
Oh yeah.
And product, is one thing, but really what you're selling is, to be stress free.
Right.
And that's what,
Positive all the way down the line.
yeah.
Which type of client do you prefer to work with? Do you prefer the interior decorator, or do you prefer the retail walk-in who really kind of might rely a little bit more on you to point them in the right direction?
Oh, great question. I mean, both have their pluses and both have their minuses. I mean, an end user or consumer may not be as versed. They may not know their size. They may not know what goes with their pillow or their fabric or their window treatment as easily or as recognizably as a trade professional. So, and there they need a little more hand holding.
Right.
And you know, showing why it works, how it works, and more assurance.
More information.
Yeah. And then when it comes to a trade, they do know the product. So it's more the demands of, you know, and as Phil alluded to, you know, the time frames, the time restraints.
And it's New York.
Which has hurdles amongst itself. Yeah.
Right. Right. I mean, it's all well and fine. I was downstairs earlier and I walked by a room that had these colossal bundle of carpets. So I'm looking at them going, oh, those are huge oversized rugs. I can't imagine a designer that came in and said, I need you to show me 4 of these on my Park Avenue apartment. Boy, the logistical nightmare of that is,
yeah,
it's more complicated than the designer could imagine.
Yes.
And it happens. It happens often.
All the time.
You know, we are got many requests all the time to show rugs. And it could be 11, 12 rugs.
Mm-hmm.
And at times
and you got to be there at 10:47.
Exactly.
And 30 seconds. Yeah. Yeah.
At times, some of the requests are you have to take the padding as well, because if they want to keep them, you're keeping them. They're going to stay down. And if not, you know, there's been times where we've taken 11 rugs and we came back with 8, or the complete opposite, where we leave 8. But hey, getting back to, you know, working with interior decorators, I would think, and you could tell me, it's also a positive where they're going to be returning with many other clients.
That's the upside.
Where the retail consumer buys a family room rug, they might not come back until they're ready for another rug, right? But your decorator is going to have many, many more clients to service. And if they've had a great experience with Aaron and with ABC, they're coming back.
Definitely true. I mean,
it becomes a relationship.
Perfect word. I was just about to say. I mean, I've had relationships with some designers that
do tell us the dirt.
Yeah, no,
you have relationships.
Not intimate, but you know, some that now I'm doing refreshes on the same projects that I previously sold to, and I always tell my team that, you know, a designer will stay with you as long as you don't give them a reason to leave. And you know, when they say jump, you say how high. When they say to deliver, you deliver on X. The designer needs a reason, whether you don't take care of them in a situation, you know, and that's the red flag, you know. But I believe in, you know, 100% doing everything that you can for them, for their business. And as long as they know they're being taken care of, yeah, why would they go somewhere else?
Yeah. So taking it from the retail world, right, of sales, and transitioning to now the servicing world and cleaning and any other types of services that a decorator might need. What has been your experience, Philip, with decorators? And
yeah, we've been dealing with the interior design trade for 100 years, as long as it's been born, you know, and I feel like it's evolved to a greater amount of dependency on what we do than ever before. And I believe it's part of the interior designer now is utilizing the services as part of what they offer to their clients. It's not just going to be we're going to put together and package this beautiful room of carpet, furniture, drapes. We're going to choose the paint. We're going to align ourselves with service companies that when you need to have your wall painted again, I want you to call me. I don't want you to go to Thomas's painting. Okay. So for us, we have more and more, as you said, intimate and involved relationships with interior designers in not just rug cleaning, carpet cleaning, furniture cleaning, upholstery cleaning, fiber protection, flame proofing for commercial spaces. So for us, it's like you said, it's a great and invaluable trade. We're a little luckier than you because we don't have to bring the 11 rugs up to a house to sell 2 with 500 paddings. That's already been done. You've done all the heavy lifting.
Literally.
Now that it's in place, we do what we do every day, which is, every day we go into about 80 people's homes, and in one way, shape, or form, we're moving contents to provide services.
Yep.
So,
and I think more services now are being even offered, like you said, the Protect and program,
right.
And it's like an insurance policy. And I think it's, designers.
we call that in New Jersey. We call it a spiff.
There you go. This is true.
Fiber protection with the padding, bundle it. It's a spiff. So how about you? I know that you spend a lot of time with the fabrication and delivery and installation.
Yeah. So it starts with the install, right? Well, where a company like ABC would sell a carpet and the decorator might ask us to install it, or ABC might ask us to install it, and we'll put in the carpet.
Right.
And over the years, we continue to work with the same decorators, because after the installation, then they'll come back for a repair. Right. We had a stain that cannot be cleaned. Can you patch it? Or the nosing on the step is worn to a point where it needs to be replaced. We have some attic stock. So we'll install a piece of carpet, and the relationship with the decorator will continue. We'll go back for a couple of repairs, and then you're being hired to do other jobs and other types of installations. Right. And you might, and at times they call us and say, "Hey, we remember those floor plans from 12 years ago? Can you dig them up, because we want to redo the job and we need the plans?" And so it's not one and done.
Yeah, 100%.
You get in with the decorator, you do a good job, and the relationship continues to grow year after year with the types of services that they need.
So in your case, your business and the growth of your business with the interior design trade, is it growing?
Yeah. Especially now, we've been heavily focusing on the interior design trade, architects, and so we've seen our business grow with interior decorators really in the last three years.
And how is it that you at ABC, strategically speaking, grow with your business with product and interior design trade?
Yeah, by expanding just in that arena alone. We had, when I first joined, 1 team member dedicated to the trade.
1.
And now we have 3. So
that's great.
Just as Greg alluded to how it's growing and that snowball effect, we're seeing the dividends pay as well.
And on the product end, do you feel that the demand is in stocking goods, or is it more in custom goods?
I would say definitely more in custom and in volume.
Right.
Like I said, we're even doing some hospitality projects. We delivered 150 rugs not too long ago to a project out in California. So, yes, lower margins, but, larger volume projects.
And relationships that are building.
Exactly.
That's the key. A successful project like that. The
next one could be 300 rugs.
We spoke earlier, it was 4 episodes ago, probably. I can't remember, but it was a while ago. And you were talking about you get as much pleasure at selling a $200 rug as you do a $200,000 rug. But in relationship building, you don't know what the $200 rug is going to lead
generate to.
Right?
Absolutely.
You don't know what the patch in the carpet in the bedroom, you don't know what it's going to lead to. So you need to treat
each one
with the highest level of importance.
100%. Yeah,
and if you don't look at things that way, you're not here for the long haul. How long has ABC been in business?
127 years.
127. Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No. And like I said, and every day I walk through those doors, it's, the hairs on the back of my neck still stand up.
We got you by 13 years, right? We're 140.
140 next year will be 140.
But that's amazing.
No, it's likewise. No,
Yeah.
that's a testament.
I didn't realize, I figured it was at least 80 or 90. 127 years.
Yeah.
How many businesses in New York?
That long? Well, I know of 3. Kostikian, ABC, Rug Renovating.
Rug Renovating's been around a long time, yes. Yeah.
About 130 years themselves.
Yeah.
So over the course of the 140 years, is there one example of a experience you've had with an interior decorator in a home, on the job, anything that stands out?
Yeah, I've had a lot of different experiences over the years. So I used to work for Doris Blau.
Okay, sure.
And so we had a client from Manassas, Virginia. And at the time, Doris Blau was on 57th and between Madison, 15 East 57th. And we left that location and we went over to Fifth Avenue. So we literally had no showroom for 3 months. And a designer that I knew of in that area needed some rugs for a client. And this was a woman that recently became a widow. And her husband was a huge property developer in that area. So she wanted to put special things in her house. And the designer knew that I was working with Doris at the time. And Doris Blau was a very well-known antique rug dealer. She was also, she had such a characteristic about her. She was a very interesting person, very cultured woman. And she, the designer wanted to meet Doris, and we did. And I remember they picked out, 5 or 6 rugs to bring down to her house, which is like a split level. It wasn't even this amazing house. And one of the rugs was a $650,000 17th century Cuenca. The client never asked the price. I drive it down, put the rug down in the living room. I'm telling you, it was like, you're in anybody's neighborhood. And I'm saying to myself, how's this going to play out? So she looks at the rug and she goes, oh my God, I love this rug. We need to have lunch. So we sit down, we have lunch, and she says, how much is it? I said, Mrs. Blau never told you how much the rug was? She goes, no idea how much. I said, $650,000. She goes, well, how do I pay for that? I said, well, the way we do business here is you pay us before we deliver the rug, and, we'll bring it back, we'll clean it, we'll fix it. And, that was what I would call a pretty amazing experience with an interior designer, most expensive rug I ever sold, by the way. But that's a pretty good number.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing to sneeze at.
And then we ended up selling another 4 other rugs, and it ended up being like $1.2 million worth of rug sales in that house. So how about you?
That's impressive.
How about you? You have a great experience you want to share with a designer?
So I was working I was managing a rug retail store in Red Bank, New Jersey. And designer came in with the client and wanted to sell sisal with a wide bind, this, that. And I recognized the address. I recognized the house. It was a documented Stanford White house. I mean, beautiful house, nice. Right on Rumson Road. And it took me, and I recognized the client had much more ability,
Right.
and much more wherewithal than just, your,
We call that more,
lazy,
they had more money.
just
He's being
cover the
nice.
floor. Yeah. So it took a little over a year, and I educated the homeowner. I won't share her name. Educated her, started with new rugs, started then, explaining the process, then went to vintage rugs, graduated to antique rugs, brought her into the city a few times to our office in the city at that time. And little by little, elevating her. And at the end, wound up selling, several $100,000 worth of
great.
rugs. Went
He's
from
very happy though.
static.
Static, yeah.
I mean, that house deserved those pieces.
She deserved them.
That too.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was an investment banker, and it didn't happen overnight, but again, just like
You built the
relationships,
confidence.
100%. And if one thing was amiss, or any alarms during that process, I'm sure she would have disengaged or pulled out. But yeah, it was literally over a year that I worked with her. But that was one of my top ones, and
I mean, it's safe to
fun.
say we all agree that the interior design trade is a very important thing, a part of our business
Absolutely.
now, and it's going in the future more and more so. Greg, how about you? You deal with a lot of designers.
I do. This one's actually it's an interesting story. It's not so much about the designer. The designer was wonderful to work with, but it just goes to show you the challenges that we all have to face on the job. We were doing on the Upper East Side. We were doing carpeting in a luxury apartment building in the common areas, all the hallways, and every tenant or every owner of every apartment was someone.
Right.
And they had a line to the super and a line to the managing company, and that building was 20 something stories. And by the time the decorator and I finished that job and walked out of there, it was the amount of, not issues.
Sounds like a lot of opinions.
Yeah. A lot of opinions.
A lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to work together to please everyone. Don't work in front of my door today. Don't do my floor today.
Right.
Don't do this today. And I'm having company. You can't, we're hosting a card game. And every day we had some type of issue. And she would call me in the mornings and say, "You ready for this one?
Yeah.
You ready for this one?"
Now what?
And and after a while, we were just
That's
like,
a great collaborative story.
yeah. And we had to work together.
If you didn't,
to
it would have been
overcome
a problem.
Yeah.
And we had time. There were days where we couldn't go. Please don't send the guys today. We're having,
Right.
they're such and such high profile tenant, or, is causing a fuss. Or one day
The noise.
someone had a baby. The baby was coming home from the hospital. And it was just, we had to work together, and we did. And we finished the job past schedule, obviously, but it worked out at the end. And we've continued to work with her till this day.
Yeah.
Because of, we took a lot of hits on that job, but
You work together though.
I knew we had to,
Yeah.
and that's just how we are.
Yeah.
And it all worked out at the end. The best part about it was the job was in, everyone was happy.
Right.
The checks were signed. Right.
Did you get paid? That's the key.
Yeah. And I think, with the jobs that came after that, that's
Right.
when we started to profit. Right. And that's when it all made sense. Because when we were in that building, I was like, I never want to come back here ever again.
Yeah.
You're asking yourself a lot of questions.
Yeah. You're like, was it worth it? Was it
Right.
worth it? When we were laying out the job and putting the quote together, we're like, wow, this is
It looked
amazing.
great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then after the 8th lost day, but yeah, we worked together and we worked out all the kinks, and but that's one that really stands out.
Well, Aaron, again, I really appreciate your time. It's a busy place. I mean, I could see customers hustling and bustling here, and you're a significant part of this operation. So we appreciate your time. And thanks ABC for having us here again. And hopefully you'll have us back again. The RugCast. Take care.